We're gonna start seated. So go ahead and take a comfortable sit. Let's take our hands to the top of our knees and then start to just circle your head around. I actually prefer side to side rather than circles, but every body is different. Okay, so think about what your body needs. If you want to take circles, go for it. If you'd rather just take side to side with me, let's rock it out here. Every single step of the way today, I need you guys focusing on your breath. Okay, some of the stretches might feel like a little angst of pain through your body. All right, if you keep holding your breath through that, you're never going to get a nice muscle release. So practice your breathing with me here as we take these gentle side to side or circle rocks with our neck. Okay, now sit up as tall as you can. Feel like you're growing up out of the floor like a tall sunflower. Your head is being pulled to the ceiling. Big breath in, let your lungs expand, your chest open. Now carry those arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Stay seated nice and tall like you're floating right up off the floor. Big breath in, hands high. Exhale, let it out, let it go. We're gonna take one more of those. Big breath in, hands high. Drop the left, keep the right, and turn it into a side bend here. Reach all the way over. Can you look up under your elbow? See how low you can go while keeping that right butt against the ground. Breathe. And let's go other side. Big breath in through the center, hands go high. Exhale, side bend. Hold it, look up under your elbow. And release here, everyone. Okay, rise up to your knees here. And I want you to walk your hands forward. We are on all fours. I'll turn to the side. All fours, so shoulder right over top of your wrist, hip right over top of your knee. Let's take a few cat-cows. So if you're not familiar with yoga, we're gonna drop our belly, arch your back as much as you can, lift your head up, push your heart through your biceps. And as you exhale, feel like you just chucked a basketball out of your hands, push the floor away, round your spine out, get as round as you can, get that spine as close to the ceiling as you can, and on your next inhale, let the head dive forward and up. Whew. Back drops, belly sinks. Exhale, push. Inhale, belly sinks. And again, exhale, push, back rounds. Exhale, sink. All right, guys, plant that left hand into the center and come to a neutral spine. So a nice flat back right at tabletop. Take your right hand up nice and high. Stretch out your back, stretch out your limbs. Feel like you're pushing the floor away, reaching for the ceiling, and now even open that hand behind you. As far as you can get it, deep breath in. Exhale, and we're gonna thread the needle. So you're gonna dive that right arm underneath your body. Drop the right shoulder to the floor, right ear to the mat. Whew, left hand is gonna eventually march all the way long and forward. Big breath with me. Good, you guys, let's march that. Left hand back in, right hand returns to tabletop, and then we're gonna switch it over to the other side. So right hand to the center this time, left hand reaches high. Big stretch up. Now this is that part, you can pull the hand even further away. Whew, do it here. Enjoy every stretch we go through, big breath. And exhale, thread the needle. Take that left arm underneath the body, reaching for the opposite side. Right hand reaches up overhead against the ground. Feel like you're high-fiving the floor. Two breaths. And bring it back to center. Whew, right here. All right, guys, we're gonna take one really crazy shoulder stretch before we really deep dive into our legs today. So lay flat with me. I'm gonna face you for this one. You're gonna take your right arm, dive it across your chest, high five the floor. Now take your left arm and dive it in front of that arm. So notice my arms are creating a cross right here. Take a big breath in, center yourself, And as you exhale, let those arms fall against the floor and let your chin just try to reach for the ground. Okay, so depending on your mobility and flexibility levels, this might look a little bit different for everyone, and that's okay. Okay, so as long as you feel a nice stretch through your shoulders, which is actually kind of a really tight area for many people. It's a little difficult to stretch. You have to have the right stretches, a lot of focus, and the will to do it, right? Okay, so if you're here and you're feeling like you could go a little bit deeper, use your finger pads against the floor to pull your arms even further apart. One more breath with me. And unwind. We'll go left hand over to the side, right hand over to the side. Whew. Maybe just shake it off a bit here. And we're gonna switch sides. Okay, so we'll dive left hand across first. And then the right arm swings across, reach for the floor. Pull yourself to center. Big breath. As you exhale, drop the chin, drop the head. Let those hands reach in the opposite direction. This is one of my favorites. One of my shoulders favorites too. Deep breath. Last one. And unwind. Shake it off, shake it off. All right, let's press ourselves back up to those knees. Who's ready to work on some leg work? So I know we've all been, like I said, either sitting or maybe running exercises we're not quite used to. Start by pulling your right leg forward. Let's go into a few lunge sways. So this is like the easiest way for my body to kind of decide that it's gonna handle a lunge right here. So just ease yourself into it. Find some movement and get your body to awaken slowly with you. Okay, so lean into your lunge, pull back and away, into your lunge, back and away. Breathe through it, as always. Now get ready to hold that low lunge right here. So deep plunge those hips, let them dive down towards the ground. You can stay up nice and tall, maybe hands bracing the top of your leg, or if you want to take it a step further, take your hands to the floor. As always, deep breaths. Okay, if you're ready to advance it, I want you to take that same arm as your knee that's forward, hopefully you're right here, and take the hand high. Left hand against the ground, keep plunging those hips down. So what I often see in my yoga classes at least, is we'll be in this beautiful lunge, people will put their hands down, and when I tell them to do something else, they'll pull their hips back. Okay, so do your best, maybe even help yourself, push those hips down here while we're here. Okay, both hands back down to the floor. Keep those hips plunging down. If you can, march your elbows to the ground, maybe even diving your head to try to kiss the floor. So right here, get nice and low. Fill up the space. How's our breathing? All right, release, hands back underneath the shoulders. Deep breath in. As you exhale, push those hips up and back, straightening through that front leg. So I want to see toes flexed up, heels digging against the floor. So we're going to do everything to the right side first, and we'll go back through it, do everything to the left. Steady your breathing. Anything that stretches out your posterior chain, that's your hamstrings, the back side of your legs, that is killer for me. So I would consider myself a very flexible person, and even these stretches get to me. Okay, so I have to remind myself to breathe. This is good for me, my body wants it. So repeat those things to yourself if you find anything challenging or a little bit uncomfortable today. One more breath. Good, now rise back up to the top of your kneel. I'm gonna scoot over so you guys can see. We're gonna open out that right hip, so we have it open to the side here. So you want your knee to start at about a 90-degree here, and we're gonna start taking some side sways. So deep plunge to the side, let those hips go down, over to the right, into that knee. Okay, who's ready to hold it? Hold it down, hold it to the side. If you feel like you can reach for the floor, maybe you try to do so here and add a side bend in. Keep those hips plunging down. And release, rise on up. Now turn your toes to face me, brace the floor here. We're gonna extend our left foot out to the side, and we're gonna sink down to the bottom of our side lunge. So just holding right here, we've got a big lean and bend into that right side. Okay, so if your heel doesn't touch the floor, totally cool. If it's a little difficult for you and you're up a little higher, that is fine as well. Something that if you haven't taken my yoga class ever before, I always tell my students, everyone in here has a different body, a whole different genome, completely different set of their own injuries or how they train. Every body is so different. All of our bodies are gonna look a little bit different today doing each of these stretches. Okay, but we wanna try to stretch the same areas together at the same time. So take my cues all with a grain of salt. If I say, get that butt all the way down to your heel, just try. It doesn't have to touch, doesn't have to be there, but hang out here with me and remember to breathe. That's our number one, right? One more breath. Okay, let's go ahead and do that all to the other side. Maybe shake it off through the center. And then bring yourself back down to our kneel. Big breath in and step that left foot forward. Take those sways. Deep plunge forward and down, back and away. Forward, down, back and away. Okay, something else I want you to be cognizant of today is thinking about how you feel from side to side. Maybe the right side feels really great for you and the left side's a little bit tighter. Okay, we all have differences in our bodies. And hold your lunge down. Once again, you can stay nice and tall here, hands on hips, or you can dive those hands down to the floor. Whatever feels best for you and your body, you can try the floor. If the floor doesn't feel good, take your hands back to the hips, okay? I always say too, nothing is mandatory and nothing is permanent. So try it. If you don't like it here, bring your hands to hips. Easy as that. But keep those hips coming, pushing down to the floor. Couple deep breaths. Just try to relax your mind and relax your muscles that we're working with. When you're ready, if you're ready, let's go ahead and take that left hand high, stretch it up, turn and face your leg. Keep those hips plunging down. You haven't pulled back, have you? And release the hand. Okay, if you want to, you can bring yourself down to forearms here. Dive your head down like you want your forehead to kiss the floor. If not, you can stay up on your palms or you can come back to your hands on hips. Okay, but a couple more breaths here in our low lunge, letting those hips just really deep dive in, giving our body enough time to adjust to this, opening out through the hips, big breath. Exhale, hips up, push away, straighten through that front leg. Flex the foot. I want toes to be pointed up to the ceiling. I want heel to be digging down into the ground. Let's go ahead and reach those hands forward. Okay, so this is our half splits. Once again, not one of my favorite stretches. We all have favorites. We all have least favorites. It's okay. Keep those toes up, toes flexed. Last breath here. And a big release. Okay, once again, I'm going to scoot over to the side just a bit. Now I want you to take your lunge over to the side. Turn those toes to face your left side. Let those hips plunge down, over, and back up. Okay, let's let them hold down. Keep those hips pushing to the side. Now, do me a favor, if your shoulders are starting to turn, I want you to open back forward. So your shoulders and your hips should be like in the same line with one another, facing towards me, okay? From here, if you would like to take that hand down and extend your right hand up and over, feel free to here. If you feel a lot of pressure through your knees in some of these lunges, you can always double up your mat or put a little blanket or towel under your knee. Last breath. And release. Whew. Now turn that foot. Toes are gonna Tuck your back right toes and then stomp that foot off to the side as you allow those hips to sink down through our side lunge. Get cozy, get comfortable here. Okay, so now we're caught up on left and right sides. Hold yourself here. Once again, if you're not feeling as comfortable, those hips can come a little bit higher. Whatever you need to do. Whatever feels good. Okay, maybe if it feels good to take a couple sways here, do it. Deep breath, last one. And let's take those hips up high, plant both of your feet down. Whew. While you're here, try to shift your hips from right to left. Just sway them over and over. All right, so we're gonna do more stretches through our hamstrings, through the back of our legs. We're gonna start, I'm gonna turn to the side for you. In our forward fold here, I want you to turn your hands so your fingertips are gonna now point behind you. Start to walk those hands as far under your body as you can. If you are not quite touching the floor yet, take your hands to your hips and just keep lowering yourself down, down, down. Maybe your back starts to turn around and your head gets really heavy. Totally cool. So if you can't touch the floor, that's okay. Maybe just reach for it, or hands to legs. If you can't, fingertips are pointing behind us and we are walking them under our body here. Close your eyes and breathe. Stay with me. 2 more breaths, team. Last breath. Okay, slowly start to unwind. Bring yourself back to center and let's tiptoe those feet together. I want you guys to keep the left foot forward. Take that right foot and cross it behind. So ankles are crossed. Take a couple bends in the knees. Bounce up and down, and stay in your forward fold. Now when you can, take your gaze to your knees. Maybe walk your hands a little bit closer. If you're not even touching the floor yet, hands are on the top of your legs, okay? So you can reach anywhere along your quads or along your shins, just trying to touch the floor. If you've got the luxury of having yoga blocks with you today, you can always reach for those as well. Okay, if not, just hands to your lap. All right, next up, you guys, I want you to push all of your weight into your left foot. Take a bend in your knees here, and then I want you to connect the knees. Take your right foot so the foot is flexed, and it's gonna start to straighten out behind you. Keep a bend in that left knee. Can you take that right heel a little higher? And can you start to straighten your base leg? Big breath, shake and release. Whew. Let's rock it up, shake it all off. We are gonna do that again. Other side, who's ready? Right foot forward this time. Left foot steps behind, crossing at the ankles. Bow forward, you can stop anywhere along the way that you need to. We're gonna eventually get into that forward fold. Bend the knees, straighten the knees. Let it feel good. Our bodies needed this. More breaths. Can you get those hands 1 inch closer to your legs? Can you get your belly a little bit closer? Fold in half. Breathe. All right, let's push all of our way into the right foot. Bend through the right knee. Left foot behind us here. Flex the toes. Okay, keep your base leg bent. Straighten out that back left leg. Can you lift the leg a little higher? And can you start to straighten out through that right knee? Big breath and shake it off. Shake it off. All right, team, let's come down all the way to the floor here. I want you to find yourself into a tiny little ball. So try to get as low as you can. Curl yourself as tiny as you can get and do your best to push your heels down into the floor. Okay, so this last time, this is one of my favorite calf stretches. So I love it because I can use all of the weight of my own body to really push my heels to touching the floor and stretching out through the calves. Big breath. Whew, and release. All right, some booty stretches, specifically requested today. Shake your legs out. We're gonna start by gliding our right heel up on top of our left thigh. So get it right up on top, right over top of your, above the space over your knee, okay? From here, hands are gonna come behind us, and you're gonna glide your heel in. So a couple things. You can stay here. If you start feeling a stretch immediately, just stay put. If you need a little bit more of a stretch, pull the heel in as far as you can get it, and then maybe lift your butt and walk your hands closer in. So you're closing the gap between your butt and your heel, okay? And then one more thing you can do is push your chest and shoulders into your legs. So fold up as much as you can. Now, in the act of this, keep that right knee out and open. If the knee is trying to point in towards your shoulder, keep it out and open. Keep that good posture. Deep breath. 2 more. Last one. And release. Drop the booty down and extend the foot forward. While we've got the knees still open out, ankle against our thigh, start to march your hands down your leg and reach for your left foot. One more breath. And rise up here. So with the foot crossed already, just point the knee to the sky, stomp the foot against the floor. Take a big breath in, sit up as tall as you can. Brace the floor with your right hand. Take that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Twist. Big breath. And release. All right, shake it off and we're gonna switch sides. So bend that left knee this time, left ankle over top of the right thigh. Once again, brace the floor behind you, take a slight lean back and start to peel that right heel in, legs coming up off of the floor. Once again, if you need to, lift the butt up, walk your hands a little bit closer into your heel, and you can hang even. Okay, so listen to your body. If that was too much, maybe walk the hands back another inch. We learn about our body by exploring our body. Couple deep breaths. Two more. Last one, team. And release. Go ahead and kick that leg out. Keep this knee turned out. Reach down your leg. Forward fold. Last breath. And release. Go ahead and point the knee to the sky. Stomp your foot down. Inhale, lift up as tall as you can. We're going to take that right elbow outside of the left knee. Spinal twist. Two more breaths. Last one. And big release, big release. All right, find yourself in a straddle. Keep yourself centered. Okay, so try to keep those legs the same distance apart. This is one of those times where I tell people, every body is different, okay? So some of us might be able to go totally flat out. Some of us might be like way more in a V shape. Both are great, okay? So sit there on the ground and just take your heels out to wherever you start to feel a nice stretch through the inside of your legs. Okay, like I said, it looks different for everyone. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, and as you exhale, start to bow forward, reaching as long as you can. Reach against the floor. Maybe you can touch the floor. Maybe you're just working on getting those heels a little further out here today. Whatever works for you. I just want you to feel a stretch. Now, if those toes are starting to point forward, try to take those toes so they're pointing straight up towards the ceiling. Breathe. This is one of those stretches we've got to remember to breathe. If you're holding your breath, you're doing yourself a disservice. Think about every exhale is bringing you a little bit closer down, giving you a little bit more peace of comfort. Good, you guys rise on up, walk those hands back in. Try to reach for the area behind your body and sweep those feet forward. Bring the soles of your feet together and the knees apart. Take your hands on top of the knees, give them a little bit of pressure. Try to open out your hips even more here. Maybe take a slight lean in. A couple deep breaths. release. Bring those knees back together. We're gonna bring ourselves back to that tiny ball. So for a second, if you can give yourself a hug, do that here. And then when you can, rise up onto those toes, bring yourself back to that tiny ball. We're gonna come all the way to a stand. Big breath in, and exhale, stand. Shake it all off. So we're gonna do a couple standing stretches to finish off our Stretch It Out Sunday. Push all of your weight into your left foot. Take your hands to hips and then just try to raise up your right knee. Knee right in front of the hip, and then the ankle falls right underneath your knee here. Take a couple sways, pointing the knee out to the side and then bringing it back forward. Okay, a little balance practice. Now bring it straight forward. Walk your hands to the front of your knee and try to pull that knee into your chest. Let's guide the left hand back to the left hip and open the knee out to the side. The knee still wants to point straight up, but see how those toes are pointing over towards my wall? Okay, we've got one more variation. Come back to the front. If you can grab for your foot or even your ankle, try to kick that foot forward here. Can you lift the heel a little bit higher, even if you have a bend through your knee? And then same thing, left hand to the hip, and can you carry it out to the side? Even if you've got a bend through your knee here, totally fine. Big breath, and release. Shake it, shake it. Okay, other side, all of the weight into your right foot, left high knee. Just get comfortable with the balance. Start to sway the knee open, and knee comes forward. Out and open, pull it forward. All right, pull the knee straight into your chest, reach for the knee, pull it up and in. Think about your posture, standing up nice and tall. Hand to hip, open the knee out. We've got that last variation to finish with. Bring it forward, grab for the ankle or the bottom of your foot. If you can, start to kick out. Even if you keep a bend through the knee, do your best to kick out, and then if you can, lift up. Whew. Feeling it more on this side for myself. Hand to hip and sway that leg out and open. Deep breath. Even if you've got a bend through your knee. One more. Drop it, shake it. We're gonna finish with a figure four. I'm gonna face the side for you. So all of the weight into our left foot now. I want you to cross that right heel, just like we did against the floor, but this time we are standing. Start to sink in lower, starting to bend our base leg nice and low. You can take your forearms and rest them on top of your shin, or you can even reach for the ground here. Maybe take a couple bounces, a couple bends through the knees, let it feel good. Let that knee, your right knee, just really sink out. Release, shake it off. Whew, we'll switch sides. Let's go ahead and base leg is the right, cross the left over. Start to sink down, send your butt back. Carry those hands to shins or hands to the ground. A couple bounces if that feels good. Deep breath. And release. All right, you guys, stand up nice and tall. Take those hands out through the side. A couple windmill swings here. Twist through the back. Okay, big breath in, hands high. As you exhale, give yourselves a high five and your body a hug. Thank you, Sweat Obsessed. Thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed that 30-minute stretch. I think moving forward, every Sunday, I'm gonna do Stretch It Out Sunday. So let me know how you liked it, and I hope to hear from you guys later. This will be up for 24 hours, so if you wanna repeat it or send it to a friend, please do. Okay guys, have a good Sunday.